Hi, I'm Chef Rose Deneen. I'm a pastry chef, pastry instructor at a community college, and a cookbook author. The cookbook is Baking with Vegetables, and today we're going to bake with carrots. Now, one of my favorite desserts is carrot cake, but could we make it into a cookie? Absolutely. I'm taking my favorite oatmeal raisin cookie and just adding some carrots. So let's go run through it, all right? So here's all my prep. I have my 2 sticks of butter. I have my 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. I like the dark brown sugar, adds more of a caramel flavor. A 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. There's my dry mix, 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Yum. 3 cups of old-fashioned oats, raisins if you'd like. My family, even my students at school, a lot of people don't like raisins lately, so certainly optional. And some chopped up walnuts, really good for you, good omega-3s, so optional of course. But then the carrots. So I've got about a cup of mini carrot pieces here, and I started off with these matchsticks carrots that you can buy at the grocery store, and you can put in salads and cook them. They're great, but a little too big for the cookie. So I chop them up a little bit. Let me show you. Just chop them up with a knife to make them a little smaller. Or you can use a food processor if you'd like as well. All right, well, let's get mixing. All right, got my mixer here. And I'm going to start with the butter. Make sure the butter is softened. And for baking, I always use unsalted, just so that you know how much salt you're adding into the mixture. I'm going to use the paddle attachment. And we're going to do the creaming method, which is simply beating the butter and sugar, adding your eggs and vanilla, and then the dry mix goes in. So creaming method is a basic mixing method for a lot of cookies, but also a lot of cakes as well. All right, I just kind of like to break up the butter by itself first. I'm going to add the granulated sugar and the 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. You can use light brown if that's all you have, but I do like the dark caramel flavor that you get. Let's get this right position. There we go. All right, so just kind of beat it on a 3 or 4 speed, just for a minute or two. You definitely do not want to mix this too long. You know, one of the biggest questions I get from people is that, oh, my chocolate for my cookies spread too much. Well, it could be that you're mixing this part too long. And obviously I'm adding air to it. So if you mix it too long, the more air, the more your cookie is going to spread. So if you want a little thicker cookie, don't put so much air into it. If you want a cookie that's very thin and crispy, then beat it for longer, for sure. All right, that's all I'm going to do. Make sure you always scrape down between all the different steps. So you scrape the bowl. All right, good. All right, so now we're going to add our 2 eggs, one at a time, definitely about the 3rd speed again. You can break the eggs in a bowl and add one at a time, or just I break it and put it right in. Just be careful. Every once in a while, you know, if you do break it on the bowl, sometimes the shell might get in. But I've been doing this for so long that I'm pretty confident I won't get any shells in. So I wait till the first egg is absorbed. Then I add the second egg. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. I like to buy really good quality vanilla. It's really worth it. But certainly whatever you can find or whatever you can afford is great. Vanilla has definitely been very high priced for a while, and there's a long story there. So if you're curious, just kind of look it up on the internet. All right, let's scrape it down. what happened with the vanilla and why is it so expensive. All right. There's also ways to make your own vanilla too. So you can find that on the internet as well. And I usually do that. Sometimes I'll buy really good vanilla and then I'll incorporate it with my homemade as well. All right, so you want to mix it just till the eggs are thoroughly incorporated. What I love about making homemade cookies is you don't have to bake all of them. Obviously this one's going to make, probably close to 36 cookies. You can make the batter, scoop it, and then freeze them. And then, oh, hey, let's make some of those cookies. Pull them out of the freezer, let them thaw a little bit, and then bake them off fresh. So I like doing that. And we used to do that in the restaurants as well, or caterers. Make a big batch and then just freeze what we're not using. All right, turn it off. We're going to add the dry mix all at once. Do not add it gradually. If you add it gradually, you might get too much gluten development and might make your cookie a little chewy. So add it all at once, low speed. I want my cookies not to be chewy. Well, if you do, then certainly overmix with the flour. All right, now I can add everything else. I'll add the oats. So I'm going to skip the raisins because my family does not like them. I'm going to add the walnuts though, and the cut up carrot pieces. Beautiful. I remember kind of developing this when I had these extra matchstick carrots one day and I thought I'd make carrot cake, but it wasn't enough to make a carrot cake. So decided to add it to the cookies. And that is it. That is our batter. Look at that. You can see the wonderful carrot pieces. And again, you could certainly add the raisins or not. Dried cranberries would work too. And I'm going to scoop them, bake them at 375. I like to press them down. Once you scoop them, press them down so a little flatter. They don't spread the same way as like a chocolate chip. But these are going to be just so amazing. You'll love it. So see you again soon and happy baking. Bye.